Happy holidays, everyone. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Decay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to the 1996 remake of The Preacher's Wife. So this is going to be interesting because this is the one for our holiday special that I don't know. So this is my introduction to The Preacher's Wife. Now, for our holiday special this year, our theme was chosen to be holiday films that are remakes of previous ones. And so, with the other two films we're going to get to this year, I have seen previous versions of them. This film, I have not. And I don't know much of anything that means about what the plot is about. I do know that Denzel Washington is in this. There was someone else that I knew was in it because of having to get the poster for the holiday special announcement video on the channel. And I don't remember who it was. I think it was a pop star, though. I think it was a pop star. I just can't remember which one. But The Preacher's Wife. So, from the title, I assume that's going to be a major theme. We're going to have probably a Christian preacher in this. And his wife is going to be important towards the plot of the film. In some way. I know vague, but it's nothing. It's not any less of a vague title. It doesn't give me a lot to work off of, and like I said, I've never seen the original that this is based on. But I decided to go with this, even though I hadn't seen the original, because I realized when I was looking up stuff that there's not a lot of holiday films that are remakes that I haven't already seen. Because that is important. Obviously, I'm not going to react to something I've already seen. But this is one that just came up, and so it's like, you know what? Sure, we'll go with it. I think I saw that the original was like from the 50s or something. Maybe the 60s. So, it's one of those cases where they definitely modernized it. The original probably, let's be completely honest here, were all white actors. And now we have black actors in this. And again, I don't know what the context of the story is or anything, or what, like, the theming or whatnot of it is. But yeah, I'm very, very curious to find out. Sorry if I feel like or if I seem like I'm a little bit out of it today. I've felt a little bit out of it today. Also, I recorded a couple things before this too, so I might just be a little bit out of it because of that too. This is like the last thing I'm recording the day I'm recording this. Either way, we're going to just get into this, see what this is about, and hope for the best. So let's check it out. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Should probably put on my Santa hat, shouldn't I? So, yeah, with a title like The Preacher's Wife, this was obviously gonna, involve Christianity, involve a lot of like church stuff. So it's like, if that's not your bag, that's fine. I can understand having religious trauma of my own, why some people might not be super into that. But as someone who is Christian, as someone who does have faith and belief, um, I thought that this movie was good. And I'm specifying, excuse me, there's like something weird going on there. I'm I'm specifying good because there were some notable issues I was having with this while watching. Notably with the pacing and the implementation of certain aspects of it. And I'll get to that more in a second, but my biggest issue, I guess you could say, with this movie is that I feel like it was trying to be too much like so many other movies, and unfortunately didn't have much of its own identity. Like, you can compare this to so many other films. Obviously, one of the big ones is It's a Wonderful Life. And it's a lot of stuff we've seen before. And don't get me wrong, it's like written well, it's performed excellently, you have a great cast, but it's 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 not original in any way. And normally that's not an issue for me. Normally I don't have a problem with that because like what movies nowadays are original or even in the 90s. But even when a movie isn't original, which is, let's be honest, most of the time, it's still got to be investing enough. It's got to like take those old ideas and present them in a way that makes them, even if they're not new, feel new. And this, I just don't think did that. Like, again, nothing in this was like bad or offensive. It's just, it felt very stereotypical. It felt very generic. And I don't think they gave enough time. Despite this movie being like 2 hours, I don't feel like they gave enough time to certain elements. Um, the relationship between um, wow, their names are escaping me, but Courtney B. Vance and Whitney Houston in this um, really should have been expanded upon. It really felt like it was like they put the least amount of effort into actually making it feel like a real relationship until like maybe halfway through the movie, and then they started focusing on it more. They have all this other stuff they're trying to focus on with like everything that Courtney B. Vance's character is trying to do, all of his like responsibilities, how it's affecting his not only relationship with his wife but his son. And then you bring in the entire angel plot. You bring in like the entire thing with this former friend slash former church member who's now this big rich guy trying to tear down their church and all. It's like there's just too much they're trying to do and not enough time to really accomplish it, weirdly enough. And on top of that, I just feel like there's just not enough holding this movie together despite everything that's in it and all. And it's hard for me to explain. It's really weird, and I feel like the pacing was also off. Like there were certain things that went by too fast, certain things that should have gone by quicker, and I just don't feel like it really like made the best use of its 2 hours. It felt weird in terms of how it was paced and set up. Um, but like I said, it felt like they were trying to do way too many things, and that gripe really does take a lot out of this for me. Also, it's like you hire Whitney Houston, like one of the greatest vocal performers ever. You have Denzel Washington, you have Courtney B. Vance, you have this great cast. You have fucking Lionel Richie in here, even if he's not really that important to anything. But it's like I don't feel like any of them were like truly utilized to their best. Like the problem with Whitney Houston is I think she's like an okay actress based on what I saw here. She's nothing great, and definitely her best moments were honestly when she was singing. It felt like when she was the most her, and obviously her performances in this movie were fantastic. But like when she was like just acting, when the rest of those scenes were going on, it's just like she doesn't really hold my attention as well as she should. I love the idea of her character. I just don't feel like it's quite there. And considering they tried to do this entire like fake cheating thing with her and Dudley, it's like I was not a fan of that. I'm never a fan of that. So I just don't feel like that was necessary either. Um, and then Courtney B. Vance's character, it's like he's so like he's has such a stick up his ass for most of the movie that it's just like you're kind of annoyed by him, and that's just all his character is. Denzel Washington, as freaking amazing as of an actor as he is, it felt like he's just kind of thrown in. And in the last third of the movie, he's barely relevant if we're being honest. And it feels like his character was almost dropped in the last third. I just feel like there's certain elements of this that just didn't quite gel like they hoped it would. And I don't know how this movie was received. I actually kind of want to look that up real quick. Um, because I'm kind of curious as to what other people said regarding stuff like this. So let me see if I can find it real quick here. The Preacher's Wife, 1996. It is a remake of The Bishop's Wife from 1947. I think I said like the 50s or 60s. So I was actually a little off there. Which in turn was also based on a 1928 novel. Okay. Interesting. Let's see the reception though. Stephen Holden, writing for the New York Times, called the film sweetly uplifting and a shrewdly conceived update. Okay. High praise for actress Jennifer Lewis and the funny scene where the children in the Christmas pageant cannot recall their lines. Okay. Okay, here's something here. Patchy narrative, uneven. Um, Dwayne Burge is the one writing for the Hollywood Reporter here. Said too often he concluded the plot seemed nothing more than a means of stringing together terrific musical performances by Houston and the Georgia Mass Choir. Burge found Penny Marshall's directing slow at times, but felt that casting director Paula Harold had done wonders. Yeah, the casting was great. It's nothing against the cast. It's just how they were utilized. He singled out Courtney B. Vance as an appealing if downbeat husband, Jennifer Lewis as the sassy mother-in-law, and Loretta Devine as Big's defensive, aggressive secretary who thinks Dudley is there to replace her. Marshall, Burge said, was more effective directing these lively characters than the film's stars. Okay, so this person was saying that the side cast was just better. Karen Weiner Campbell, or Wiener, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, for Entertainment Weekly, found Denzel Washington to be lackluster, which I don't think he was lackluster. I thought he was really good in this. Though the gospel singing scenes were quite good. Her strongest criticism was directed at the screenplay. She felt the script had too many subplots. That's definitely one thing I'm saying. There was too much going on. With the narrative by the character of Jeremiah was sappy. Yeah, I don't feel like it needed to be like kind of narrated by Jeremiah either. That it was a little much there. And was lacking in the fun miracles of the original. I don't know what that is referencing, but Jackie Potts in the Miami Herald felt the characters were dated. Found Courtney B. Vance's acting humorless and was highly critical of Whitney Houston's acting. Like I said, Whitney Houston, it's like she's a better singer than an actress. I think she did fine. She wasn't like great, but she did fine. But this person said Houston sleepwalks through scenes as the dignified mother doing little more than tucking her 6-year-old son in. It's not a showy role, but Houston plays it as if the frost outdoors has settled on her shoulders. While she had high praise for Denzel Washington, she had little to say for Penny Marshall's directing. So it seems like the issues kind of come down to the directing. There's a little too much going on, and I kind of agree with that. It's like stuff like that is what brings this down a bit. And it's like this is barely a Christmas movie. I'm one of those people who will look you in the eyes and tell you that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Because it's not. If the movie could take place at any time of year without changing the core plot, it's not a Christmas movie. And honestly, I would argue that you could say that about this film. The Preacher's Wife, like, you could have this be at pretty much any time of year. Does it work for the Christmas season in regards to, you know, relevancy with the themes and ideas? Sure. But it's like on a very bare bones level to the point where it's like this is kind of teetering on the edge for me. I do feel like this could technically take place at another time of year without like changing that much. Like this could be an Easter movie. Easily. You could easily make this an Easter movie. But the point is, it's like this movie is good. Like I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Just based off of first impressions here. Nothing spectacular, nothing great. I don't know how it compares to the original or to the book, but it was passable. It was still a good time. It was still fun. There were some good moments that really either made me laugh or just have fun. And, you know, I was smiling a lot, so I can't complain too much, you know. But this was only the first movie in our 2025 holiday special. Next week we will be back with Black Christmas. Specifically the newest remake, because there's actually a couple remakes for it. So we'll be back with that next week. And then the final holiday special part will be on Christmas Eve. And that will be for the remake of Miracle on 34th Street. So all of that being said, thank you so much as always for tuning in. Thank you to Venom. Or no. I say that so often, I was like going to automatically thank Venom for donating for this. But this isn't a donation reward. It's the holiday special. So it was just instinct there. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.